It's time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning on Tuesday. Hope you're having a good week. We got some more severe weather in the forecast, so make sure you tune into Abby Dyer's Wake Up Weather Forecast. Coming up, if you're listening to us, it'll be 30 seconds after we finish. If you're watching, then you can look up Abby's forecast where you're watching this. Because it's
I feel like it might be worth it with the severe risk, right?
Yeah, and we've been in this pattern where every week, it seems, there are tornadoes somewhere.
Yeah.
This time it could be here, so heads up.
All right, we'll begin with some news. We got another sinkhole to tell you about, this time in Ozark. It opened up on Richwood Road near Richwood Cemetery. That's between Highway 14 and Fremont. Crews are working right now to get it filled. That road is closed to through traffic until it's complete, and no word yet on when that might be. I mean, that's part of it. It's the cave state, and there's been a lot of rain. So
there has been a lot of rain.
With the territory.
That happens.
All right, Humansville might have a problem on their hands. Election officials and state leaders say it's possible that people tried to run for public office, but were denied from doing that. Basically, told either that the position had already been filled, or perhaps that someone else had already been selected. So state leaders are questioning the use of public funds and the election stuff. There is a lot to the story, but suffice to say, the Missouri Secretary of State's office is investigating. Law enforcers are investigating, looking at a specific city employee and the use of public money. So lots happening in Humansville. And I mean, honestly, there is a lot to it, but we will follow it and keep you posted whenever it comes to the resolution, if you will. Yeah,
there's more to come for sure. Bass Pro Shops and Max Prairie Wings are teaming up. Now, if you've never heard of Max Prairie Wings, I hadn't prior to this.
I had not either. Yeah, and apparently they've been around for 80 years. I'd never heard of that.
Well, we're not big duck people, but for people who are big duck people, they know this business.
They know them.
It's a business in Arkansas that serves the waterfowl community and has for a long time now. Bass Pro says the two are uniting to, quote, amplify the impact of our combined expert knowledge to better serve customers and increase our shared commitment to conservation. They have similar roots. Johnny Morris, of course, started Bass Pro Shops in his family's liquor store, basically, and Max Prairie Wings founder started his company in the family's hardware store. So very similar origin stories. And now they're teaming up officially. And then there's this. After a long career at the Dickerson Park Zoo, Mike Crocker is retiring, and Jackson Thompson is taking over as the new director of the zoo. Thompson's official title is Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation for Dickerson Park Zoo. He's been employed there already for about 20 years, so he knows it well. They know him well. So we want to say congratulations.
And even longer than that in the zoo world. So it's kind of cool how he's kind of done everything and worked his way to the top.
Yeah, congratulations to Jackson on the new position, and congratulations to Mike on retirement. Job well done.
I know. He was great. Do you remember him? Did you ever work with him or not?
I didn't ever get out there on news stories, but
Yep. He's great. So, that's exciting. I'm going to be a great person in retirement. I feel like he's going to be too,
Are you?
Yeah. I am.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I believe that about you. I believe that about Mr. Crocker as well. Not everybody's good at retirement. A month later, they go back to work.
I'm going to go to the Gilloys on Wednesdays and watch a matinee. And then I'm going to figure out the rest.
He really is going to go to the midweek matinee. We got to meet Jeff down there at the Gilloys, and we became firm believers of what the midweek matinee could do for you. So there you go. This is interesting. We told you Missouri Mike's Barbecue closed down last month, but the owner apparently was not done with the food business. Now Mike Hickman is opening the Phoenix Diner Bar and Grill on West Chestnut Expressway. In fact, the same place in the same spot that was Missouri Mike's. They have a big menu variety of items there, from steak and fries to pasta, a big salad bar. But it was interesting. He's calling it the Phoenix because he said it's kind of like rising from the ashes. So
yeah, I remember.
Clever. And I hope that it does. That's awesome.
We did the story whenever Missouri Mike's closed, and he had a quote, something about how in essence, it was the restaurant business kicked his butt, and he just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And now here he is doing it again, a new restaurant in the same old restaurant building.
And whatever it was, I cannot remember his direct quote either when he closed down Missouri Mike's, but it was actually funny. I mean, it was sad, but it was funny the way that he worded it.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like you said, something about, like he can't hang except for now he is hanging again, because that's a tough business.
And obviously once it's in your blood, it doesn't get out of your blood. It's kind of like news. We're still doing news.
Right. I know. Look at us go. Here we are. Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes is launching a new coffee brand. It's going to be called Throne Sport Coffee. I don't know about it. It's going to have B vitamins in it, electrolytes. His team of coffee people, not the Chiefs, but his coffee team. They say they want to appeal to more active adults who want a better for you caffeine option.
So it's not coffee caffeine? It's
no, I mean it still has coffee caffeine in it, but it has a lot of
healthy.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I know a couple of my friends who order specialty coffee with stuff like this in it, like that comes with like collagen and B vitamins and all the things like already in the actual coffee. So it can be done. I mean, I've never done it, but I think, I'm his target audience. So
I think that's fantastic. I've actually, I've been looking for a cup of coffee that's more expensive than the ones that they currently have. So I'm really looking forward to this because I've been spending.
I actually believed you for about 0.5 seconds when you said you were excited.
I've been spending $5-6 for a cup of coffee, and I'd really like to go more toward $8 or $9 if I can. And this sounds like it may be exactly the perfect cup of coffee for me, a $9 cup of coffee because it has vitamin B in it. So I'm looking forward to trying it.
Yeah, I don't know about all this.
80 years and still going. This is a great story. A Springfield couple just celebrated their 80th, not birthdays, wedding anniversary. Can you even imagine that? Being married?
Yeah.
I can too. It'd be great. No, it'd be fantastic. But all I'm saying is...
You didn't sell that at all.
All I'm saying is that is a really long time. And I just wonder, do we know how old they were when they got married? I guess is my question.
17. They were 17.
They were both 17. So they got married at 19.
If you know how to do quick math, you can figure it out.
19 and 44 is when they got married.
There you go.
That's amazing. They celebrated over the weekend. Yesterday was the actual anniversary date, but they celebrated over the weekend with their church family and their real family and their friends over at Graceway Baptist Church. So good for them. I mean, that's amazing. 80 years.
Yeah.
75 is something, but you get to 80 years of wedded bliss. That's impressive.
My grandparents, which you got to know them before they both passed away. They celebrated, 76 years, I believe. 76 years, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, for both to still be going strong is really impressive.
Yeah. All right. Finally, Stephen Curtis Chapman. If you know him, you love him. He is a very popular Christian music artist. And he is going to be in Nixa at the Atos Center on December 15th. Why are we telling you about that right now? Because you can plan Christmas in May, apparently. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 for that December 15th concert. You can get those tickets starting on Friday. Go to atoscenter.net. atoscenter.net.
And you've been there. It's a great venue, right?
It is a great venue. It's a really great venue. I went fairly recently to watch Danny Goki, and he also is a Christian music artist, and it was a good crowd. You know what? I don't know if it was sold out, but it looked full. It looked totally full. but I'm not sure if it was like technically sold out or not. But but it still feels like an intimate crowd because it's not huge, but it's by no means tiny either.
Yeah, so I think it's 1,100 people. I think is what it seats. Because I had,
right?
Zach Rance. He's with the Nixa School District. He's kind of in charge of the ADO Center.
Yeah.
He came over to Convoy of Hope yesterday. I took him on a little tour. We talked about bringing in some classes from Nixa for tours, that sort of thing. But we were talking about the ADO Center. I told him congratulations on Stephen Curtis Chapman, and he said it's really going well. It's a really state-of-the-art venue, and I think he said it seats about 1,100. So it's a good, medium-sized venue for these artists.
Yeah. I wonder if Zach's boss watches Around the Ozarks. I told Zach that night I saw him at the concert and I looked at my watch. I was like, I'm pretty sure you've probably been at this school building since about 7:00 this morning. And it was like, 8 p.m. or something. And he was like, I have. I'm like, I'll let your boss know that you need a raise. I mean, because that's like a job in and of itself, because there have been a ton of concerts already at the ATO Center, but hopefully they're getting traction. I mean, it seems
Martina McBride is coming.
Martina McBride is coming. I saw her picture in the window, which she's sort of the first country music artist there, I think. I'm pretty sure she's like one of the first country music artists. They've had a number of Christian music artists. So, it's good.
It's doing well. I know that.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we have. Make sure you stay tuned for Abby Dyer, meteorologist Abby Dyer, up next with your wake up weather 30 seconds after this, if you are watching on the ATO app. And otherwise, if you're listening, just stay tuned for a quick commercial.
Yep.
All right.
It's a weather aware day. So make sure you're paying attention and have a great day. We'll see you on Wednesday.
See you then.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday. It is May 21st. And once again, we are starting out with temperatures that are very warm. We're at about 67 degrees here in the Springfield area as of 5 a.m. We'll be pushing 90 by this afternoon. It is going to be a very warm day in the Ozarks. And I know you've heard the rumblings of the threat for severe weather that does still exist in the forecast, I think late this evening after 5 p.m., lasting through the evening and maybe even the overnight hours for some in the Ozarks. Most of the day, though, summertime is on. It is going to feel hot and sticky across the Ozarks. We've got a south wind in the forecast, as well as a chance that we see the heat index values up in the low 90s. It is going to be very humid across the Ozarks. You'll notice that as you step out the door. But when we're starting the day at nearly 70 degrees, it's going to be a hot one. No jackets required today, only indoors. This time of year, it always seems like people have the air conditioning on blast and it's actually cold inside. So you may want the jacket for indoor purposes. Here's a look at the conditions as we head into the afternoon. So today we're going to be dry. And as we move closer to this evening and overnight tonight, I'm tracking rain and storms. An approaching cold front is going to kick off this round of severe storms that kind of moves through the Ozarks. This is coming from the north this time. So it's first going to move through portions of northern Missouri, central Missouri, portions of eastern Kansas. We'll hear about this in the Kansas City area before it makes it to us here in the Ozarks. But I think the timing for most of us, is going to be after sunset. But once these storms arrive, they could become severe very quickly. I am talking about all modes of severe weather that are possible in the forecast late this evening into tonight. The storms, they're going to be what we call discrete in nature. It means that when you look at the radar picture, it's not just one big wall of rain coming our way. You actually see these individual supercells, and that's the type that you really got to worry about, because it means we could see not only incredibly large hail, but incredibly gusty winds, and even there is a threat for tornadoes with these storms as they push through. So time to be kind of on your guard. I think after the evening drive, probably sometime around 7 p.m. for our northern counties, moving through the Springfield area closer to 9 or 10 o'clock, and then pushing even further south into northern Arkansas as we get closer to midnight. Some of these storms could even linger through the very early morning hours of Wednesday, so we could wake up to rain tomorrow too. I am expecting that we see another chance for severe weather tomorrow, too. It is just nonstop active here in the central part of the country, and we are getting in on all threats for severe weather. The severe threat shifts south a little bit as we head into Wednesday, though, and then I keep this daily rain chance in the forecast clear through the end of the week and into the holiday weekend. The good news about these storm chances, these daily storm chances, well, after Wednesday, it doesn't look like we're seeing severe weather. It looks more kind of run-of-the-mill, pop-up severe shower and thunderstorm activity for the second half of this forecast. This evening's round of rain, though, could be severe, so have a way to get your watches and warnings today. I want everybody to be prepared for some of that severe weather. We will likely see some sort of watch issued in the Ozarks this evening, so check that before you go to bed tonight and make sure you have the phone alerts on, your weather radio is on tonight, because we want to have everybody alerted to some of this severe weather. Before the storms get here, it's just going to be hot and humid. Good day for the pool, near 90 degrees today. Temperatures tomorrow will be cooler, but I still think we're going to be able to build enough instability between the morning rain and the afternoon showers. Once again, the timing for Wednesday looks to be an early afternoon event, and we could have some severe thunderstorms with that Wednesday event as well. Cooler then as we move into Thursday. High temperatures are back into the upper 70s, and then we're back into the 80s by Friday, still holding on to that chance for some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity as we get closer to the holiday weekend. Around the country, what's making headlines? It's this continued threat for severe weather for much of the central United States. Also, cooler conditions are making headlines from the Rockies back to the Pacific Northwest. Also, periods of rain are accompanying that cool down for our northwestern friends. And well above average temperatures are now taking hold for the eastern half of the country. We are experiencing that little warm up today. In fact, temperatures in the 90s is going to be close to record highs across the area today. So nice and toasty for us here in the Ozarks as well. All right, it's time for that Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question. This is what I left you with yesterday. By 1966, the Ford Motor Company was including what in all of their vehicles? The options that I gave were A, air conditioners, B, cigarette lighters, C, flood headlight high beam switches, or D, 8-track players. Well, if you listened to yesterday's episode of the podcast, you heard I had my husband Joseph on. He immediately guessed B, cigarette lighters. He said it was 1966. Everybody was smoking. And that was true. However, it was not the correct answer. The correct answer was actually D, 8-track players, which seems a little bit early for the 8-track players. But it was 1966 that the Ford Motor Company said, all right, we're on board. Ford led the pack here. In 1966, Ford put the first 8-track player in a Mustang. It had a factory in-dash 8-track player. It was the first one. And then after that, they said, okay, we will make this an option on all of our vehicles. It lasted for a while, of course. And it reached its high point there in the late 60s and 70s. But by the late 70s, it was starting to see a downfall. And by 1982, music studios stopped shipping 8-tracks to retailers. So cars began to remove the 8-track recorder from the car model. But congrats. If D was your guess, the 8-track player, you are now entered to win a $20 gift card to Scooter's Coffee. Here's your next chance to win. What colors are at the extreme ends of the visible color spectrum? Do you think it is A, red and violet, B, white and black, C, yellow and blue, or D, white and violet? You can submit your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Don't forget, we have an entire weather section there at aroundtheozarks.com. So head on over to the website, click on the weather tab. You're going to get everything you need to know about the forecast, and we'll tell you about some of that severe weather moving through the Ozarks later tonight as well. I want everybody to stay safe. Make sure you have a way to get your watches and warnings late tonight and this evening. We will chat again early Wednesday morning and talk more about the severe weather heading our way for tomorrow too.